Kio 5. There's only one of me here, so it's time to bring on number 2 and number 3. And for that, I'm going to go to 2 more of the candidates in our Ang Mo Kio team. And that's my old buddy, whom I spent the past 5 years with at Ang Mo Kio, Mr. Gan Thiam Poh. And my new buddy, Miss Ling. Hello, Thiam Poh.
Hello,
Ling.
Hi, Darryl. Hi, Thiam Poh.
Okay, can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you guys right now? Thiam Poh, where are you, Thiam Poh?
Okay, right now I'm this Outgang, right? Block 632. Right.
I asked Thiam Poh where you are because you're always well known for always walking the ground and being amongst the residents, you know. So that is.
No, I think we're always there, right? Every time, any festival or anything.
Rare to see you sitting down.
Always together to attend together, right?
Okay, we'll come back to you later. Now, I just want to go to Ling for a while. Ling, you know, you're new to our team, but you're looking forward to really working with you. How has the last 6 days been so far? Because I'm thinking back of my first few days during my last the last GE. It was quite challenging. How are you finding it, Ling?
Okay, first, Darryl, I'm dialing in from Jalan Kayu branch office at Serangoon North, and the volunteers who have been accompanying me for house-to-house visit for the last 6 days are still with me. So I'm in a very good place, in a very good company. So together with the volunteers, I've covered about 6 blocks a day. So over 6 days, I will have visited a few thousand families by now. It gives me a lot of energy to meet with the residents, you know, the families. And I still remember a mom. I think you'll see her picture later on. She's, this lady in yellow that you're seeing on screen. She has 5 children and she's a full-time working mom. So she gives me such positive vibes and encouragement. So it really, you know, keep me going. I've never walked so much, but the encouragement, affirmation from the residents gives me a lot of energy. And I must tell you the story of a senior that I met. She's undergoing chemotherapy. So even despite her plight, she looked in my eyes with this deep conviction to say that, you know, my daughter asked me what's my decision at the poll, and without a doubt, it's going to be PAP. Because it's built our nation so much, you know, and I just felt, so convicted to keep going and serve our residents. So this has been my 6 days of amazing journey with knowing a lot of residents.
Yes, indeed. I think when you hear such comments like that for our residents, it really lifts our spirit and gives us the motivation and encouragement to keep going, because you look very fresh still after 6 days.
Yeah, the people make me fresh.
Thiam Poh, I have to say, you know, I've been going over to Sengkang South in your area, and more than a few people have asked me the block visit. They always say, "Hey, Apo bo lai ah? Oh, Apao meo lai ha?" Because they're really very fond of you, Thiam Poh.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know, what is it about you know, how you've been engaging the residents that make your relationship with them so special?
I think for the senior, you know, to help them, I know to connect to them. So I actually easier for them to remember my name by Apao or Apo, right? Here pretty easier for them to use this name. To call me. In fact, I told them, no, feel free, just address me, you know, whatever you think that if you find that this Apo is something that is easier for you to remember me, go ahead. All right, and and as such, I think so I have been known to them as Apo. All right.
Okay. 那我们红帽桥有很多莅临的居民，对不对？你要讲几句华语好不好？还是讲福建话？会使不？
会使，咱州的这居民，通常伊较贵，我叫人，会使叫我阿伯，阿伯伊人真贵叫我，较亲切，我感谢伊人，互我这个机会来甲伊服务， Kamsia.
Okay, thank you, Thiam Poh. Now, I mentioned 5. We have 3 on screen. Let's go to number 4. And I understand that she's really out and about. Like, literally, she's out somewhere right now. So let's try to dial into Nadia. Nadia Ahmad Samdin. That's our 4th teammate. Nadia.
Good evening.
How are you?
Hi, guys.
Now, you're wearing a mask, so you must be outside. So we understand if it's a bit unclear, you're trying your best. Can you please tell us where you are, what you're doing right now?
Oh, as you can see from the back, I'm in Tingsan Selita, one of our kopitiams. And with me is Annie Jie.
Hello.
Annie Jie, 你在金山 Selita 服务多久了？20多年. She's been our volunteer for more than 20 years. So we're actually just stopping by one of the residents' houses. She needed some extra help. So we're going up, and I'll come back after brunch and join you on the show later.
Okay, Nadia, thank you so much. Hope that you carry on with helping our volunteers. So that's the kind of things we've been doing on the ground for the past 6 days. I too have been busy. Ling and Thiam Poh. I mentioned earlier that I was spending some time in Sengkang South because after the election, I could end up actually being taking over some of the places over there. So while Nadia heads on, there you go. That picture of me, I think, with one of Thiam Poh's residents. And this is what I think, Ling and Thiam Poh, we enjoy doing, isn't it? Walking the ground, meeting with our residents, engaging them, and just trying to connect, which has been quite challenging, hasn't it, in this COVID-19 period?
This is good. I think I must say, increase a lot of restrictions. Like whatever we used to, we used to walk around, really, we say hi to the people, shake hands with them, because of the restriction, I think we can't do it. That our keep the social distancing. Actually, I feel that I miss, and also between residents also miss. Right? We do hope we can all overcome the COVID-19 if possible, so that we can, actually go back to they can spend more time with their different friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nadia, I understand you. Sorry, Ling.
Yeah, just to add to that, well, COVID-19 certainly forms some constraints and restrictions. I must say that when I go to the house-to-house visit, the residents has found a way to make contact like elbow knock, and just and I think it's the physical presence is just so different. Yeah, the warmth and then just to see me in person, but I see your photos on the posters. I mean, it just really made our day just to get to know each other. So despite constraints, I think human connection has been great.
Okay, Nadia, I know you're going to be going off soon right now. Do you have any final comments before you leave us to join us again?
No, thank you very much for understanding. I'm also want to say a big thank you to our Tingsan Selita residents who've been so warm and welcoming. Even though there's been a lot of online efforts through Facebook and Instagram, I feel like nothing beats being able to engage with our residents outside their homes, both in the HDB estate and the private estate.
Okay, now speaking about HDB and private estates, I think many of our residents and viewers will know that Ang Mo Kio GRC is a very fascinating, diverse place. So it's big. There are many different divisions. That's I think a picture of Ang Mo Kio Central Stage. I'm a bit familiar with that because I kind of spent much of my childhood in Ang Mo Kio, and it ranges from the HDB to some of our private estates to the Buangkok area as well. And I think earlier, Ling, we had a comment of one of our viewers saying, "Hi, Miss Ng, hope to see you in Buangkok." And that's Jalan Kayu, isn't it, Ling? That's your kampong area.
Yes. In fact, you're looking at the last kampong in Singapore on main island, and that's in Bangkok. I've been going to Bangkok Crescent, and then the other parts there's more mature flats. as well as the Bangkok Square Mall. In fact, Prime Minister PM Lee came just a couple of nights back, and we met a lot of families. So yes, Jalan Kayu is diverse. We have HDB estates like Bangkok, Serangoon North. We also have Gerald Moniston private estate, Luxus Hills, and the Jalan Kayu private estate. Yeah, so it's been a very interesting experience talking to residents.
Okay, so as you heard, there really is something for everyone in Ang Mo Kio GRC.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And yeah.
住这边40年了，这边地方很好，要买什么好，要大方便，
交通方便。
原来这边有人漏的，我这里。
I feel the community bondness is very close here.
We have very good as well.
It's the friendships and relationships that have actually formed.
Each of our customers are like our families.
Very nice, very quiet. That's why I choose here.
There are a lot of parks here, so I can go to East Coast, I can go Pasir Ris, or I can just use the parks in Sengkang.
That's what makes Hougang really special for me.
I love most Ang Mo Kio.
You know, I love what that last lady said. I love most Ang Mo Kio. And I think we truly feel that way. To all of our viewers and online viewers, you've been sending messages in. Please send them in, keep coming in, because we want to know what do you out there love about Ang Mo Kio. I was mentioning earlier that I knew Ang Mo Kio Central quite well because I spent a lot of time there when I was growing up. I was one of the first residents actually who moved in to Ang Mo Kio I think it was Teck Lee in the 1970s, Block 306. Amazingly, one of our grassroots volunteers now, Madam Nolin, who was my neighbor then in 1978, is still staying in the same block today. Now that's me and my sister. See if we can identify which one is me, which one is my sister, in our HDB flat in, wow, that's really bringing back fond memories, you know, wow. So yeah, I mean, Ang Mo Kio is really a special place in my heart. So Thiam Poh, you know, you may not have grown up here, but you spent a lot of time here in Ang Mo Kio GRC. What do you love about Ang Mo Kio?
Really, I think it's the kampong spirit, I must say, right? In fact, the residents here, in Chinese we say 很棒, 很有温情, right? In fact, quite a lot of senior, in fact, I spoke to them, or even family, I spoke to them. They used to stay in Jalan Kayu or Bangkok, you know, and they have moved to a new, so-called they have not moved to Ang Mo Kio, the new estate. I would say that they still keep that kampong spirit together. I visit, how busy, I notice that they all actually know their neighbor well. They also even have party together. Whenever there's a festival, right? They do celebrate together, and when there's a need, they help out each other. This is something that really wonderful, I must say. I always share with them. This is something that is very touching. To me, I find that it's really wonderful. So I do hope this thing will continue, right? Means especially in the new estate, I do hope such kampong trips will be preserved, right? People will continue with that traditions.
Okay, now I know Ling that you are also living in the area today, so you obviously must love Ang Mo Kio, right? Because otherwise, why would you stay in this area?
Yeah, I was born very near this area, grew up and never moved out. So you can imagine how close to my heart it is. Nothing moves me out, even jobs at different parts of Singapore, schools in different parts of Singapore. And I still remember when we were growing up, we used to say Ang Mo Kio sounds like Pong Mao Chiao. It's like tomato, right? And it's radiant and shiny, vibrant from the outside. Yet inside is also tender, juicy, and it brings a lot of goodness to people. So Ang Mo Kio is like that to me. Yeah, it's a very special place, both from the outside as well as from the inside, the people, as well as the overall infrastructure.
Okay, I know you're also very comfortable in Mandarin Ling， 所以你要用几句华语跟我们的红帽桥的居民沟通吗？好不好？
好，红毛桥居民们，大家晚上好，非常的高兴能够探望很多我们的居民。这6天来的竞选活动，让我更加的认识到居民们的心声你们的希望。我也希望能够成为红毛桥集选区的一份子，来服务大家，让我们的红毛桥居住环境呢，还有我们的设施更加好。
Well done. 说得好，说得好。So Thiam Poh, you know, you and I have been here for the past 5 years working together. And certainly, while there's many exciting developments in our Fernvale part and our Buangkok parts that are new, they're coming up, much of our towns also mature estates, right? We have Serangoon North, we have Ang Mo Kio town itself, we have Hougang town itself. So, you know, what kind of developments or what kind of rejuvenation can we share with our residents in terms of what have we been doing in the past 5 years to improve the facilities in our estates?
Well, I think we have been working together, right? I think especially in Hougang, Ang Mo Kio Hougang, and Sengkang South, right? In fact, NRP was carried out, INR works are carried out, right? In fact, we have more Ling Way now. This one is still ongoing because even myself, until today, we still wanted to resident to feedback, especially the senior. We want to make sure not only the senior, in fact, even the young families, right? We want to make sure that we have a barrier free for them. In fact, just within my Sengkang South, in fact, last 5 years, we even at the point that we actually try to, raise the floor level for at the point that to make sure that the residents can, especially the senior, right? They can walk safely. Make sure. So that has been very much welcome. So more and more such improvement will be carried out, and they will be ongoing to make sure that residents, especially the senior and the young family, can give us feedback to help them to improve their accessibilities within the estate itself.
Okay, cover walkway 就是盖住走廊对吗？
有盖走廊。
盖走廊，对对对，有盖走廊啊。There we go. These are like the drop-off points we're talking about. Really helps our residents of the mature estates, right? In terms of getting some shelter for them. So Ling, moving to you now, because you're a new candidate coming in. Jalan Kayu is a very diverse place. First of all, you have got the biggest land area, I think, of all of us to look after, and it goes from mature estates to private estates to exciting new developments. So maybe can you share what are your plans for the area with us?
Darryl, you're right. It's a diverse estate, so different families have different needs, and I intend to cater to those needs. To consider what are their life stages and what are appropriate services and facilities. So, for example, at Serangoon North, where it's more mature, I see a growing needs for senior support, caregiver support, and I would like to look into those areas. And in Buangkok area, I see a lot of families with young children. I think the youth and children needs more sports and arts facilities just to build their character as they grow. And in the private estate, actually, I was just at Lexus here yesterday night, and I was so delighted to see that neighbors are banding together, have WhatsApp group, build bonding, have festivals, celebration together. And I think so. Not just the hard infrastructure, estate enhancement, lift upgrading, and the facilities improvement. But I would like to build the soft aspects in terms of program and services, community bonding, family bonding, and active aging, as well as caregiver support. So I will do slightly different services and consideration for different parts of Jalan Kayu.
Okay, now I know we have got questions and comments coming. I'm just going to pause for a while to see what the questions says. Oh, that's it. It says, I love Buangkok. because there's PM, LHL. Well, let's go home. We can love Buangkok for other reasons as well. But thank you for your support. Move into Hougang 5 years ago and see a lot of activities that make me feel at home. So I think that's also important, isn't it, Thiam Poh and Ling, about it's not just about the hardware we put together, but the kind of activities, that we try to organize for the residents to make them feel part of our community. So maybe, Thiam Poh, I mentioned to you just now that you are always hardly able to find it sitting down because you're always walking the ground. What kind of activities do you have? 我们可以组织什么活动给我们的居民参加什么活动呢？
I think the residents here, in fact, I really appreciate in fact, every time we organize this activity, actually something that they propose. They also share with us what they like to have. So I think one of the most popular activity that you and me have is actually in our Hougang area, actually building party. Not only Hougang, in fact, my Fernville areas. Residents there do, in fact, we also enjoy durian party. In fact, we did one durian party in the Fernville itself, which had actually attracted 2,500 people participants. The residents actually came forward. In fact, the individual also organized that for the residents together for the families.
那你也是在你的盛港南组织很多活动给我们的乐龄居民参加，对不对？
呀，是的，对，所以乐龄除了我们就是乐龄喜欢的，还有就是他们喜欢艺流通常还有我这边的居民他们都很喜欢我们带他们去艺乐游或者2天1夜的这个旅游他们都蛮喜欢的，对，当然我们也很多每天都有很多这些课程包括这些健身太极拳或者各式各样的一些健身的运动，然后我们有搞这个聚餐，还有咖啡早餐，大家聚在一起这些都会帮助他们。对
，OK， 谢谢天宝大哥分享你组织这种活动的经验吧。Okay, well, I mentioned earlier that we were the Ang Mo Kio 5. We saw 4 of us. It's my pleasure now to bring in a 5th member of our team team leader, as it were, Prime Minister, Secretary General Hsien Loong.
Hello.
Hi, PM.
Hi, Darryl.
Thank you for coming down. Okay, we can do this.
Do like this.
Thank you for joining us.
Happy
PM.
to be here, back in Ang Mo Kio and Tegi.
Indeed, and I know you had a very, very long day today. I caught the Fullerton
that's
lunchtime rally earlier. I remember I had the privilege of speaking live at the Fullerton rally.
Last time.
It was 5 years ago.
Yes, indeed.
Time has certainly flown by. Of course, you've done many Fullerton rallies that you first got it since
7, including today.
7. and this is your ninth.
We had 9 elections,
That's
but
right.
there were 2 years when there was no Fullerton rally,
Okay.
so I didn't speak. But all the other years when there were rallies there, I spoke there.
Can I ask you a question? In all that those long years of service in public service, since you got into politics, 9 elections, you must have certainly seen the landscape change. You must have seen voting change, the patterns change.
Yes.
Could you share a little bit about how have things changed from the 1980s since you were involved till today?
Well, in 1984, when I first came in, there was no internet. It existed in the world, but it was not something which everybody had and used. There was no Facebook, no Twitter or Instagram. And so things moved much more slowly. And you met people, you talked to them, and then the word spread. You spread it in the coffee shop, slowly it would get out. And that was one kind of politics, and very personal face-to-face politics. It's still there, but it moves much faster now, because now when you meet the chap in the coffee shop, he will take the picture and show you, see, I see this. What does this mean? And you have to respond like that.
Yes, but we're doing this now, PM live
Yes,
streaming,
indeed.
even as we speak. It literally is live, because the first time I did a live stream, I didn't realize you can't stop. It really goes on, and people are watching.
Yes, people are watching.
Yeah.
And somebody will video it. Once you've spoken, that's on the record forever.
No, but I'm glad the PM that we've had our residents write in. They're giving comments. So Maybelline Wong says, "Hi PM."
Hi Maybelline.
And the comments are coming in right now. But what we've been answering is, we talked about why we love Ang Mo Kio. We all have different reasons. I spent my childhood here. Ling was living close here. She still lives here in this area today. Thiam Poh has spent much time here as well. But you've been with Teck Ghee for quite a while now.
Yes, since '84.
And I was 14 years old. Yeah. I was living Ang Mo Kio then still.
I was 32 years old.
And you know what's amazing is I come to the Teck Ghee branch, and many of our Teck Ghee volunteers have been with you since then.
Yes,
been on that journey with you.
Very loyal activists, stalwart supporters who have been serving year in, year out, all these many years. And they've grown gray hairs with me, but they're still volunteering. And at MPS night, we still often see them come down and do their part.
So what are your memories of Teck Ghee, PM? What do you love about Teck Ghee? What do you love about Ang Mo Kio, as it were?
I think it's a place where people have deep roots. They've been staying here a long time now. The first families moved in around late 1970s. That's more than 40 years ago. And quite a number of the families are still here. The children may have moved out, but the old folks are still here. When I came in, we were a lot of young people. My kindergartens were full of kids, and every year the numbers would grow. But as the town matured and people grew older, the preschools and the kindergartens, the intakes came down. And now we have old folk corners, we've got the daycare centers, we've got the senior citizens groups, active aging. And it's very good to meet them because they're all family together. Mm-hmm. They know one another, they know their neighbors, they know their hawkers. These are all people who have lived with one another for a very long time. And we form a community here in Teck Ghee. I went back because I went to do the Fullerton rally thing today. And I look back at the first Fullerton rally, which I did in '84 when I first came in.
You're very candid to share the photo with us. Yeah, we showed it on the screen just now.
Yeah, so I looked up the old report. There we are. You can just about recognize that it's me. I looked up the old reports to see what I had said. And one of the things I was talking about was to talk to the young people and say that you must have fun. You mustn't be afraid to let your hair down, enjoy yourself. It's being young, it's lively, active, it's good. But at the same time, do something for your community. And we hope that this would be a society where you know your neighbors, you help your friends, you help the community, and you participate back in. And I think we've been able to achieve both of that in Teck Ghee and in Ang Mo Kio.
Well, we just talked about Ang Mo Kio being a very diverse GRC because we have the mature towns, Teck Ghee,
Fernvale.
And we had Fernvale and the Buangkok that's coming up. That's quite new, exciting. So I'm going to bring on...
I was just at Buangkok last week.
Indeed, I was just going to bring on Ling and Thiam Poh right now on our screen because Ling was sharing that. And Nadia's joined us as well. You're back.
Hi, Nadia.
How are you? PM has joined us in the studio. So we are trying out the Ang Mo Kio 5 live, as it were. So Ling, you were talking a little bit about your plans with the new developments in Buangkok, because you and Thiam Poh will have new flats coming up. Is that right?
Yes. In fact, I wasn't just share, there was a comment earlier by some resident from Buangkok. Even during the campaign trial, I've been listening to the Buangkok residents' feedback, and I have shared it on my Facebook. Dr. Intan has also. Dr. Intan has been building more bus services, and we're so glad to share with all our residents that bus 101 will be extended to Buangkok MRT station. Yeah, so even during the campaign trial, we are so glad to be able to share that. We continue to bring up the need, and we just got a confirmation that it will be extended. So I hope that's good news to our Buangkok residents. And I'm going to continue to build the amenities and facilities.
Yes, I read your Facebook post. Happy news, because we've been working hard to extend our connections, our bus services into our private estates, into our neighborhood, to major intersections and everything. Nadia has just joined us as well. Nadia, we talked a little bit about, Ling mentioned Dr. Intan, and Dr. Intan was with our team, and she played a big part in engaging our Malay community. Just wanted to ask your thoughts perhaps on the work that you think you can do moving forward with our Malay residents, our Malay community in Ang Mo Kio GRC. And please, we've been using language quite interchangeably here. Feel free to use a mixture of English and Malay as well.
Okay, thanks so much, Darryl. Salam sejahtera semua. Nama saya Nadia. It's been a busy 6 days, and it's been lovely meeting residents from all walks of life, from our Malay community as well as our seniors. And I think wherever there's seniors, there's often grandchildren as well. That's been a real joy over the last few days. In terms of programs, because Chengsan Seletar is an elderly community, I really hope to be able to do more in terms of improving accessibility. We have planned a silver zone coming up to ensure the safety of our seniors, as well as more convenient access for them. That's one of the things. And I think one of the other things which Circuit Breaker has really shown is how tech is so important in allowing our seniors to remain connecting in new ways. So I actually recorded a chat recently. Earlier on, I was with Annie Jie, one of our volunteers, and she was telling me how she was inspired to use Zoom, and she used to teach her other friends how to cook recipes by using her phone and cooking. So that was really interesting.
Okay, PM, I'm going to make a comment on a comment we saw earlier from Ms. Jacqueline Poh. She says, PM, please take good care of yourself. Now, I've had the privilege of working closely with you. I know you have a punishing schedule. Can I just ask PM, because I've always wondered myself, what keeps you going? What keeps you going?
Well, I first look after myself. So eat moderately, exercise, get enough sleep, get enough rest, be able to decompress. But also, you must have a purpose in life. You get up in the morning for what? There's something to be done, problem to be solved, something you'd like to try out, new area to develop, another speech to be delivered, and to put a message across and convince people to move. I think you must have a feel that this is something which you really want to do. Then you can put heart and soul into it, and for a long time.
Well, thank you for giving us encouragement in that, PM, because we're all still quite new in this.
Keep it up. You've been 5 years, but no, you have to come to the conclusion that this is something which is meaningful, satisfying, and it's doing good, and it's making a difference to other people.
Indeed. Well, moving to terms of volunteering for other people, we have a couple of quick questions now in this segment of the program to ask our different members of our team. Now, this question is for Thiam Poh. Thiam Poh, I knew that you were volunteering in Potong Pasir for 15 years before you stood and you were elected as an MP. I think it was Pasir Ris Punggol, right? 2011. And then you were re-elected in Ang Mo Kio GRC in 2015. That's almost 25 years of serving Singaporeans. So you've seen many residents become parents, become grandparents. So what do you think our plans can be for Ang Mo Kio, for Sengkang South in this area, moving forward for our aging population here?
Yes, indeed. In fact, this is always the subject that I wanted to I close to my heart, especially the senior. Right, I think more things can be done for that. In fact, I've been working with all the seniors. Right? In fact, invite them to also what we ask to give us feedbacks, especially on area that we think that there is still need improvement, especially on the barrier-free. Right. In fact, I also delighted that we have this silver zone coming up in some of the area in AMK. So, in fact, these are all the improvement work that will make the estate safe for our senior and also our young family also. Right. So more can be done. In fact, we also look at the healthcare facilities for them. Make sure to make sure that they stay healthy and stay safe and active in the community. Right. So not only just hardware, we also wanted to encourage them to stay active in the community, to exercise. Of course, now CV period, of course, they have to exercise at home. Of course, with the technology, right, with the help of the families, they can actually practice it at home. The hope this COVID-19 is over soon. They can spend more time with their neighbors. Right. So all these are things that we are looking at it now to go closely with that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Thiam Poh. There's a question, PM, right now from Pang Wei Han. What more can PAP and Singapore do to reduce carbon emissions so that there will be a better future for our next generation? Well, this was meant to focus on Ang Mo Kio life, but I think this is a fair question because our residents would have concerns.
Well, I suppose we're taking this very seriously because climate change is going to be very big impact on us. We're an island, we're low-lying. I gave a pitch about this in last year's National Rally. You would have seen my map. If the sea levels rise 2 or 3 meters, we are in very serious trouble.
Indeed.
So we're doing it from both sides. One, to try and cut down our emissions. That means to save on consumption of fossil fuels, electricity, or vehicles, to move to cleaner vehicles, electric vehicles. We've said we're phasing out internal combustion engines, I think, by 2030.
Yes.
No,
2040
completely, but I hope we'll get there sooner. And to move to electric. And so one end is to burn less, and the other end is to have more renewables. So now most of our HDB blocks on the roofs, you will see we've already got solar panels.
Yes.
And we're going to put them on nearly all of the blocks. And we're now experimenting to put the solar panels floating on our reservoirs. Because it's open water, the space is not used. So we can have the panels floating on the reservoirs and it works. I think that will also add some more green energy for us.
Okay. Nadia, I know this is a big passionate cause of yours, sustainability. Do you want to add some comments on to what PM has just said earlier?
Sure, thanks so much. I think, for my generation, we really think about sustainability in a very personal way as well. So while Singapore may be small, it's also about how we contribute on the world stage, right? And it's a very personal mission, I think, for many of my peers. I won't confess to know all the answers. For me personally, as a diver, things like plastic pollution and sustainable seafood in terms of sustainable food chain is something which matters a lot to me. So there are many good work, there's a lot of good work that goes on out there in terms of our civic society, in terms of NGOs and even scientists who put their time forward. So I hope to work more with these groups to be able to push this cause forward.
Thank you. Ling, I don't know if you saw the screen or not. Earlier, there was a comment that said, 加油, Ling, 我会支持你, right? It means go for it, Ling, I will support you. Your journey into politics, you were thrown into the limelight a little bit at the start. What have you learned so far from your campaigning in the last 6 days?
Firstly, I will thank those encouraging messages. The most important thing that I've learned is to focus on the mission and purpose that I've set out to do, why I've entered into politics, is really to help residents in need and to build the community. So this is a very important journey of learning and growing. And I have just been myself in the last 6 days and getting to know residents and let residents get to know me. And they've been so warm and welcoming. So I have one tagline, 玲加油，仍然加油，加油，我们一起加油。
Well said, well said. Okay, Nadia, I'm going to throw the next question to you. This is something that I want to ask you. You're newlywed, so congratulations. I've met your husband. He's a lovely, lovely guy. You're going to go on and build your family, and you're going to build your home and a future for your children in Singapore. So what is your wish for this generation of young Singaporeans? Can you share that vision with us?
This generation of young Singaporeans, and I mean you really see it in the first-time voters, especially. People think about their vote in a very serious way. It's no longer about our youth being apathetic. It's really about how our young people can channel their energies and are given the space to channel their energies into contributing to a Singapore that is brighter, that is and being able to do this in a way where we champion each other, we look out for each other and have this space to have this discussion. So I really hope that that there's so many causes out there which our youth are championing. And I think it would be great if there's more collaboration with these efforts so that our youth don't feel like their efforts are not being heard.
Okay, now question from Erwin Ishak. He says the old guard seems to have built a solid relationship with the residents and set the bar quite high. How do you and the younger MPs plan to continue and maintain this legacy? Well, I guess so. Not so much younger MPs, but maybe perhaps the newer MPs, or all of us, in fact, who are here. So maybe I'll put that question to Ling and then to Nadia. But how do you propose to build that relationship with the residents such that they end up calling you Apao or Apo? You know?
Ling. Yeah, and I just want to say that there's no shortcut to it. It is really, relationship is built step by step over time with contact, interactions, trust over time. So that's what exactly I'm intending to do. So thanks, Darryl, for being very honest that I'm not a young MP. I'm almost half time at 48 years old.
We're about the same age. We're about the same age. So
Yeah, I'm very energetic. And so to me, relationship has to be built one step at a time. Trust have to be earned one step at a time. And I intend to do that just like our pioneer leaders have.
Nadia, any thoughts on how you plan to build that special bond with the residents?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Ling, you know, trust is something that has to be earned. It's not something that I take for granted. And the fact that over the last 6 days, you know, so many residents have been so kind to offer my team and I, you know, whether packet drinks or just even, yeah, like in our markets where they've taken the time to share with us what they've seen over the years. Institutional knowledge in our areas has been very valuable in the sense that where you know, you really have to figure out who the local touch points are, and you have to be able to have a conversation with them in a very real way. So other than the residents, you know, I've also been spending time in our markets and talking to some of our key activists who have been here for years. So I value the experience that they bring as well.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. Going on block visits for the past few days, it's a very heartwarming feeling when you go up to the resident and they go, Warren Sini, or yeah, Darryl, I know you. You know, you came to my block last year or last month or something. So I think all of us, whether your first term, second term, can continue to always remember we have to build those links with our residents. Do you have any advice from us, PM? Because you've done this for
well, you have to keep it up.
Now.
You start off hitting the ground running, but you have to keep it up over a long time. And the residents must know that when they need you, you're there. And I think once you have that bond, it's a very personal one, and it's a very valuable one. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew used to say that this is dog loyalty and not cat loyalty. The difference is the dog loyalty is to the person.
Indeed.
So if the person goes somewhere else, the dog the loyalty goes with him. The cat loyalty is not to the person. So if the person goes off, well, that makes no difference. The next person comes, he's fine also.
Okay.
And MPs, we have our relationship with the population, with our voters, is dog loyalty, and you must build it.
All right, well said, PM. Dog loyalty, not cat loyalty. Remember that, guys. PM, we've also decided to ask our residents in Ang Mo Kio their hopes and dreams for what they want for the future. So we want to just ask you to take a look at this piece we put together right now.
Because there's a lot of more playgrounds than like workout areas, so maybe more workout areas would be good.
Currently, we couldn't find any toddler swimming classes here. Then we don't have. But we hope so it will be here soon.
For a start, we could have like a residence night.
There could be a gym closer around this area.
Maybe the MRT will be great. Somewhere around here.
Hoping to see more amenities like Beverly handrails, you know, slopes.
Hopefully, our young generation can take over this place, can take over our place that we build up very hard.
Grow old here, raise our family. Yeah, the environment is quite good. So yeah, we hope to have that kind of stability. Yeah, and hope the rest of Singapore, you know, other similar people can also have this. Yeah, the Singapore dream.
Well, AMK5 team, we've heard what our residents have had to say. Before we wrap up the show, maybe just go around to each of us to say a few comments to our viewers, our residents, our voters out there. And maybe we'll start off with Thiam Poh. What would your final thoughts be?
Certainly that I want to wish all the Singaporeans good health, right? This is very important. And really, we must work together to overcome COVID-19. And more important, everyone have a good job, have a good future. And also our children and also grandchildren, we can give the best to them. Thank you.
要讲几句华语好不好？
可以，我想讲就是新中话，我们一定要继续的努力，争取更美好的未来，为我们的孩子们，为我们的孙子们，争取更美好的新加坡。
Ling, any thoughts from you?
First, I just want to say a deep appreciation to all residents who have warmly welcomed me to your home, share with me your stories, get to know me and support me this period. Also to all the volunteers who have been so committed, so hardworking and so dedicated in accompanying me in the whole campaign. This is what I believe our community is built of. This is what I believe Singapore is built of. And this is what I believe if we keep united together and cohesive, we can overcome all crises and difficulties in such uncertain times like now and the months ahead. As long as we keep our spirit strong and we trust each other and we work together, I'm very sure we can have as good a future going forward for ourselves, our children, as our pioneers have enabled for us. So, 居民们，我衷心的感谢你们，对我的关心，对我的支持。这几天来的竞选活动，你们都欢迎我，我非常的感恩感谢。我也谢谢我所有的支持者，我们的义工，从很多天开始就已经在从早到晚一直在帮助我、支持我、鼓励我，把这件任务做好。我知道只要我们一直这样的团结一致，这是我们先锋所创造的一个新加坡，我们可以继续有一个很美好的未来。
Thank you, Ling. Nadia, some comments in English and Malay for voters out there.
Thank you. Saya ingin ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana kepada para penduduk di Cheng San kerana membuka pintu kepada saya. Saya sungguh berbesar hati kerana dapat peluang ini dan juga saya harap jika diberi peluang untuk suarakan harapan para penduduk di sini. I would really like to say thank you to the residents whom I've met so far, who've been so warm to be able to welcome us and to share with us your stories. I appreciate your concerns, and I'm grateful to be able to see your living environment, and I too hope to be able to work with you to be able to improve Cheng San Seletar even further, not just for yourselves but also for your children and your grandchildren. So thank you very much, and I hope to work with you.
Okay, but before I go to PM, just some message to our residents and our voters at Ang Mo Kio, Hougang and Sengkang South. Thank you so much for your support. I hope that I've served you well for the past 5 years. I hope that you allow me to continue to serve you as an MP there for the team to serve you as well. 那我们那边也有很多讲华语的朋友，对不对？那主要是跟我们的红帽叫后港跟盛港南的居民，就是谢谢你们的支持，希望你们可以给我们这个机会，继续为你们服务。谢谢。Thank you so much. PM, any final comments for viewers and voters out there?
We've talked a lot about all our plans, what we want to do in Ang Mo Kio. What makes the plans make sense and makes them meaningful is your participation. Yeah, your interests, your cooperation, your working together, your enthusiasm, your volunteering. And that's what makes this a special community. That's what makes this a place where we call it a home. And we look forward to you coming forward to help us to realize it and to make it come true. Ang Mo Kio is not the newest town in Singapore. There are newer ones. It's not the oldest town in Singapore. They're older ones. But it's in the middle at a point where we have established roots, we have kept it moving with the times. And if you look at other towns, they are pretty, but you come back to Ang Mo Kio, this is our home here. And I hope we can keep it something special like that for a long time to come. 红芒桥是我们的家，是我们一个很独特的地方。我们住这里已经很多年了，已经有很深的人脉关系，有很多感情，有很多朋友。我们要在这里创造一个温馨的社区，已经做了很多工作了，并且大家都互相认识，大家都曾经经验过不少风风雨雨，并且也经历过国家的和市政的改变和发展。我希望大家能够继续风雨同舟，继续同舟共济，继续共同合作，共同创造一个更美好的未来。谢谢大家。
Thank you, PM. PM and team, we're going to have a special item to close our live stream right now because we talk so much about serving residents and doing what we do for our residents. So we've actually invited 2 residents from Ang Mo Kio GRC to join us right now, PM, on live stream. They are Ferlin and her husband Stitch. Ferlin and Stitch actually live in Buangkok, Ling. So Ling, these are your residents. Yeah, so you must invite them to come and join our community activities more often. So,
yes, thank you.
Ferlin and Stitch, first of all, thank you so much for volunteering your time. Thank you for joining us in the program. And they're actually, PM, going to sing us out of this live stream with a unique rendition of Home, a Singaporean classic, because we talked about Ang Mo Kio life. Ang Mo Kio is our home. So we thought that would be an appropriate song. But I think, Ferlin and Stitch, you're going to put a special spin to it. Am I right?
Yes, we are going to bring all of you like our take on our favorite song, actually one of our favorite song, National Day song, and it's called Home. So we hope you guys will like this rendition that we come up with.
Okay, thank you so much. As again, from Ang Mo Kio GRC team, thank you to the both of you as Ang Mo Kio residents for joining us on this show. And thank you also to all our viewers, our residents, our voters. We hope that you can give us your support. Please, Ferlin.
Yes, thank you. So.
Whenever I am feeling low, I look around me and I know that's the place that will stay within me. Wherever I may choose to go, I will always recall the city, know every street and shore, sail down the river that brings us life, winding through my Singapore. This is home, truly, where I know I must be, where my dreams wait for me, where the river always flows. This is home, surely, as my senses tell me, this is where I won't be.
All right, thank you. That was Home by Kit Chan. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We are Anchor Blanc, and thank you for tuning in to Ang Mo Kio Live. Good night, everyone. See you.
See
Yeah, there we are.
So how do you want to do
I
this?
will I'll if you can.
Where's everybody else?
Yeah, they're on the screen.
Very small.
Yeah, they're all here. Can we catch?
Okay, then you go on my left.
Okay.
I think we have to go
closer.
Close.
Yeah, okay.
To do HDR because otherwise the